Hello and welcome to a new video. In today's video, we're going to take a look at the best Johto team. I asked you again in the community tab what team you think is going to be the best team for the Johto region. I gave you 4 different options and you voted for this one here. We're going to have the Shadow Scissor, we're going to have the Corsola. I know, we're going to talk a little bit about why Galarian Corsola is in a Johto team. And we're going to have the Azumarill there. I see a lot of comments towards that being like, okay, you shouldn't really put Pokemon like this in there. But honestly, for me, I had the same discussion already in the first episode where we had Galarian Moltres in it. For me, it's based on the Pokédex and Pokemon Go. The Pokédex Pokemon Go, Galarian Corsola is the same number as Corsola. It is in a Johto. If you go into PvP and you look for Johto Pokemon, Galarian Corsola is coming up. That's why I included it in this video here as well. And I'm gonna do that for the upcoming regions as well. So, yeah, that's January forward. We can revisit the series as well again in the future. That's no problem, and we can go ahead and try to exclude maybe regional forms altogether, because my main goal behind those videos as well is like to showcase Pokemon and like designs that were from that region. And I mean, the Corsola, yes, is Galarian Corsola, got only then introduced in Generation 8 generally, but it's based on that design. It has the same Pokédex number in the Pokédex like the normal Corsola. So for me, it's based on Pokédex numbers. For me, it's currently the better system like this. I think the first 2 generations are where it's the most mattering. I think for the next, I think all of them, I think there's not really anything where a Pokemon from another region is going to be that impactful. At least I not think of right now. So I think this whole topic is going to end now anyway. But yeah, this is going to be the best team. And as you're going to see right now as well, this team looks kind of fantastic. Like, what do you mean? We have the Shadow Scissor here, we have the Azumarill, which I always think, by the way, is from Generation 3 and not Generation 2, because the pre-evolution, like the baby form, got added in that generation, Generation 3. But yeah, basically, you have here 3 of the top Pokemon ever, basically, here currently for the GO Battle League all together, that are all also working well together. Like, we're going to have here the Lead of Scissor, a Pokemon that only has a 1 weakness, which is Fire-type Pokemon. We're going to have in the back a Corsola that has a Rock-type coverage, which is going to be, of course, great against all of the other, Fire-type Pokemon. And we're going to have a Water-type Pokemon, so that's kind of works well. What else do we have? We have Azumarill. Azumarill being weak to Poison-type Pokemon. Both of them resist poison, so that's already cool. And then we're going to have also, of course, the Electric weakness, so we don't really have cover for that, but it's kind of alright still. But yeah, then we just kind of have the Grass type weakness. Scissor's going to be good against, the other one's going to be neutral against. Then you're going to take a look at Corsola. Corsola being weak to the Dark type Pokemon. We have the Azumarill for that. Our lead is very neutral against those. So, like, it's actually a really nicely done team here that really works together well. And so, I was expecting quite a lot of success with this team. I was thinking this is basically it. This should be the team that should win most of it. I was kinda disappointed by it. And while we see here, I think now 3 wins in a row, it's not always gonna go on like that. Oh, well, here again, we're going to have a lead that we can actually deal with, and I'm honestly kind of happy with. We're going to have the Marrow coming in here. Let's see. They're going to have now our Nicefish coming through. We kind of have to play around here a little bit. I hope that they're going to use a shield here, which they do, because now I can swap out into my Corsola, and my Corsola can take those hits. My Corsola is bulky, and even if I have to shield with my Corsola, I am going to have Power Gem stored, which is going to be great against even the Murkrow. And so I'm happy about the scenario. I'm happy on how things are playing out. They should be even able to go for the full farm down here right now in time. And so I gonna have here now the Johto coming in. The Nightshade is going to come through. It's going to do some solid damage. And we're going to see here another move coming through that is going to allow us to get some solid damage against the opponent. We're going to try our best here. This is going to be our Azumarill. And of course, we know that there's the Murkrow on the back. And as you see as well, they're going to be forced to go for the Body Slam. Not doing a lot of damage. I got already a lot of energy onto my Pokemon here. And with the swap from the opponent, we are going to have here now the position that we want to be in. We have the Ice Beam stored still. We have 2 shields on our side. The Murkrow has nowhere to go, and so we're going to be able to win also the 4th battle here. So far, so good for this team. And honestly, I'm not too sure on where things go wrong after that. Here we have a very similar scenario for ourselves. We're going to have here the Moltres against us, which is of course the same typing as what we see as well with the other one with our Murkrow just now. But this one plays a little bit differently because it is quite a bit more bulky, which makes it a little bit more awkward. But we're still going to be able to win the lead matchup. We're going to have now Marowak against us, which is going to be crazy good for us as well, of course. But as we will see here, we are going to be able to go into our Azumarill. We have a great matchup, and then there's a Scissor in the back. And I stayed in for too long. I definitely stayed in for a little bit too long. And why did I stay in for too long there? Like, where does it matter? It matters in the case of me not being able to really do anything here now, because a Night Slash is actually going to be able to knock us out. We cannot get to another charge move here, and so it's now down to me fast move them down. And I make another mistake here, which I only realized a little bit later as well, which maybe would have helped me with this game. I'm not too sure. I went for the Ice Beam here. At this point, I was thinking I should most likely be able to go for the full farm down against the for another Ice Beam later on against the Scissor, but I don't realize that I could have went for the full fast move down with my Azumarill. I should have been able to knock them out here, I think, with that bubble, and then it just depends on if I would have been able to knock out the Scissor. I don't think I would have been, to be fair. I think I still would have lost, but it is what it is, and we can move on to the next one. Let's take a look here. We're going to have the Charger bug as well against us. That is going to be quite bad. That is, full stop, quite bad. What I should have done here most likely is actually to go ahead and use a shield early on, and then still try to go for another Night Slash. But what I decided to do is let the move go and try to go for the full farm down with my Corsola. At this point, I get myself quite low. But I also don't really have a better answer. This is the issue, like this Pokemon here, electric typing generally is quite difficult for this team to deal with. And so, yeah, again, we are going to be in a position where we have a ton of energy. We have now the Wigglytuff coming in. Wigglytuff got a ginormous increase in terms of usage, in my opinion, throughout what I've seen so far this season. This Pokemon is now basically everywhere. And honestly, it's a Pokemon that maybe just want to try out as well again. Like, there is going to be a few Pokemon that I still want to try out. And I feel like the buffed Wigglytuff kind of needs to have a little bit more attention towards it as well, because it seems to be like one of the strongest Pokemon you can currently run. But now I'm in a position where I have fast move pressure from the opponent on both of their Pokemon. I have shields, but what I have to shield up is a body slams from a Gastrodon, which honestly would never really do a lot of damage. So it is a bit tough here, because now we're gonna not even be able to farm them down. Not even this we are allowed to do. We could have maybe caught the move there on our Ghost type, but we didn't, and it would have never mattered, because how the hell are we going to be able to win this one? There is no way that we would be able to win this one at this point anymore. And so, yeah, this is going to be it for this one. We are not going to be able to win this one at all, and yeah, we're going to move on to the next one. Next one coming up, we are going to have here the Corviknight. Corviknight is a bit of an awkward one. Corviknight is absolutely a little bit of an awkward one. As we will see here, we are going to have the swap out from us, which is cool. But it is going to be a bit awkward, because now we have like all the energy on our Scissor. But it's Corviknight is so neutral. Corviknight is so neutral, and we cannot have it against our final Pokemon because of the payback that it runs. Like, you generate so much energy with this Pokemon, you boost yourself up, and then you have payback. It's just a bit tough. Here, Wigglytuff, honestly, it's such a pain. Like, Wigglytuff was on nearly every team that I've encountered. It's not too bad generally for the team, though. Like, this team is not a team that's weak to Wigglytuff, unless they're gonna get still to a Swift here with like 1 HP. That was kind of unfortunate here for us. But as we will see here as well, we are going to have here the opponent going into their Corviknight again, and we can go for the Night Slash spam. This is gonna be a bit awkward, as we are going to see as well that the opponent going to use a shield, and they can go for the full farm down literally perfectly onto the point where I would get to the charge move there. So it's just a bit difficult here now, because now they're gonna get another one. They have so much energy on their Pokemon, and I have to go into my Corsola now and try to go for the full farm down. They sub out into their Dragonair, and with that I know I won this battle at least. I won this battle for sure. There is nothing that they can do about it. There is absolutely nothing that they are going to be able to do here now, because what we have here is just a position where you can just go for farm up a little bit and then go for another charge move here, and they will never be able to go for, like, even if they go for double air cutter, it doesn't matter here. Like, even if they get the boost, it doesn't matter. They don't even get the boost, but they will never be able to get to any move there. So yeah, good game to the opponent. We're going to be able to win this one, at least this one we came back from, and we can move on to the next opponent. Okay, this is of course not really a good matchup for me. Like, this is absolutely not a good matchup. Yeah, it is what it is. Like, I cannot really do anything about it. So let's see on how we can deal with it. We are going to see the swap out here into the Empoleon, getting absolutely hard-walled. And now I'm thinking, you have two Pokemon that are weak to the electric typing. You have two Pokemon they're weak to fighting typing. You have two Pokemon that honestly have basically zero synergy between each other. Other than, I guess, you have like a Dark type that doesn't want to face Fairy type Pokemon. That's why you have a Steel type for it. But it's a team that really just truly doesn't make sense. Just really doesn't make sense so far. Unless what I think they're going to try to do here with their team, which you see with the final Pokemon, which I still remember as well, which they had here, going to show us, is that they very likely are trying to play it as an EBA style team. So they're going to have 2 times basically a Pokemon that is very similar in terms of Greninja and the Empoleon in terms of the weaknesses that you have there, like both fighting, both electric weak. Yeah, it is what it is. We're going to see here the Hydro Cannon coming through against Azumarill. We're still going to be able to knock them out here, of course, with the Play Rough. But we see what they're going to have in the back. And what they have in the back is going to be a Pokemon that, yeah, we are all kind of familiar with. I recently even showcased on the channel. And it is going to be the Charizard. It's a triple starter team, which honestly kind of begs the question, what is the best triple starter team? It's something I maybe want to take a look at on this channel as well. I think I know the answer already, but I'm not going to tell it, of course. So, yeah, here we're going to see the opponent is going to go for the Air Cutter. It's going to knock us out. And we can move on to the next opponent. Dusclops is coming in. Dusclops coming in is going to be very interesting. We're going to be able to go for the shield. We're going to go for the no shield most likely. It's just going to be able to go for the Night Slash. And Night Slash is going to do way more damage. It's going to be a very more bulkier Pokemon against us. But it is going to allow us now to go for some more damage against them. And we can catch the move onto the Azumarill. Get even the free false move in here, which is absolutely perfect. The Shadow Punch is coming through, barely doing anything. And they're going to go into a Marowak, which is not an answer to a Azumarill. Absolutely not. And we can go for the Ice Beam. Ice Beam spam is going to be great. They will be able to go for the next 2 charge moves before I get to my next Ice Beam, though. So I'm going to be forced to invest 1 shield here, most likely against the opponent, or to keep the alignment. But as we see here, the Ice Beam is coming through soonish after I use their shield. I assume they're going to let the move go here. If I was them, I would most likely let the move go, because I was already low now. They do. And I can stop out of here, and they reveal that they're going to have in the back the Moltres. Literally, the one Pokemon that this team is now going to lose against. I guess maybe Murkrow would have been as bad as well. But honestly, there's next to nothing that really is threatening for my team right now. And the one Pokemon that is actually threatening for my team is, of course, the one that we're going to see here right now that is gonna get in such a bad position now. Like, we're gonna have like such an awkward position where we have no chance of winning, and it's just not really great, is it? As you see here, the charge move coming through, the flies coming in, and we are trying our best to go for a move here, but we're not gonna be able to reach it. And again, we just got unlucky there. Like, it is what it is. We just got unlucky. There's not really a lot that we can do here, but we can move on to the next one. Next opponent, we're going to have the Marowak in the lead. That's honestly a very neutral matchup for us. We would win, I think, the 0 and the 1 shield scenario if we were want to. I guess not the 0 shields. The 1 shield scenario is what we win. We would be able to most of the times to get 2 shields on the opponent's more. What I want to say with that, because we can go for 2 Night Slashes in time. This should force a final shield from the opponent. We even get the boost, and now we have a shield advantage, and I decided to go into my Corsola, which maybe seems a little bit weird, but I encountered so many weekly toughs, and I don't want my Corsola with no energy up against a weekly tough, and there is a weekly tough in the back. Mudslide plus a weekly tough seems to be currently everywhere, and so yeah, the power jumps coming through. We're going to have here in the back our Azumarill coming in. We're going to try our best with that Swift. Swift is, like, the opponent's going to try their best with the Swift. It's going to get us low. But we can go for the Play Rough. And I think this might be even enough to knock them out. I hope it is. It is not. And they're still going to get to the Swift just barely here, which is absolutely fantastic, of course. Exactly what I wanted. But we're still going to be in a solid spot until we face a Bastion in the back. And this is going to be it for this video. This is going to be it for this team. I don't know how. Like, honestly, I don't know how. I don't think that the issue here was me. I honestly, like, a lot of times, like, recently was, like, a few games where I was like, I could have played it better. That's fair. That's fine. I think it's just the team itself. I honestly just think it's the team itself. I don't think that, this team is that great. Even though you have, like, those top-tier Pokemon, they just don't really work that well together. They just really don't work that well together. Even though they're looking good at paper, maybe it's just me. But let me know down below. Also, what you want to see for the Hoenn region. Let me know down below as well, and I will see you then. Bye-bye.